Anyway, welcome back to my channel. My name is TK Shangwani, and this is a beauty and wellness channel. If you are new here, I hope you will enjoy this content and decide to stay. If you're a regular, thank you so much for stopping by again. I love it for us. I love it when we're growing. I love it when we are consistent, because that's one thing that we are consistent hands. All right, so today I thought I should spoil you guys with a fun video. Random facts about me. I don't know if the title is going to work. I'll think about it, but random stuff. So this is not prepared or anything, because I've been thinking about it for a while, but and I'll be like, oh, I need to write it down. But I know I'm good with impromptu, and things just flow better when I just go. So let's go for it. All right, so the first random thing about me, which I realize is very popular for a lot of people, is that I do not enjoy calls. In general, it's only from, specific people that I will enjoy it, and I'll tell you why. So calls give me a lot of anxiety, because you don't know what's on the other side of, the call. What are you going to be asked? What are you going to be told? And I don't get time to actually, reflect or process what I'm being told, right? And I need to think on the spot, which is something I do with ease. However, I've received calls in my lifetime that has given me like anxiety and panic attacks and stuff. So I'm not so crazy about calls. It's so funny that on my birthday, 2 of my friends actually asked if they could call me, and I was like, am I that bad? So the kind of calls that I enjoy is from my bestie, because then we go for it about our lives and laugh at each other, or the latest drama that we might be facing. Then that's nice and juicy, and we can speak for hours, right? The other person that I really enjoy receiving calls from is Pamela, my friend who's relocated to London. Then also it's always so interesting, because we're very animated, and we even make it worse and always have a video calls. Okay, with Ayanda as well, it's always video calls, and whoever I'm seeing at that time, because that's also fun, having that kind of conversation, getting to know someone more and everything like that. But otherwise, I'm always scared. Or what's on the other side? Can I do it? Is it good news? Where work is concerned, it's about problem solving. I'm so blessed. Every team that I've ever had are not big callers. They're not big callers. It's almost like they can see. They'll rather text me versus calling. So now and then I do get calls, but not so much. But that's the first thing. Let me know if you can relate. I know I've seen a lot of people say, I let my phone ring. Why didn't you text me? Not that I let my phone ring, okay? Or maybe sometimes. But most of the time I will answer, but I prefer a text. If it can't be text, then really, what is it, Unless it's urgent, obviously. But yeah, that's number 1. Number 2 random fact about me is I am a decent singer. I'm nervous to say this, because one thing about the voice and pitch and tone is that you never know. You just never know. Okay, so I'm gonna attempt singing. Hopefully it's a good day to sing today. Nerves. Okay, let's go. He has the power to make the seasons change. The river flows for you. The wind whispers your name. For me, you left your throne and traded a crown for thorns instead. I'm safe within, not by your skin, but because your blood was red. That was not too bad, right? Right. The third, I think that's number 3. I hope so. The third fact or random fact about me is I only started consuming alcohol after 35. I think 36. Yeah. I was sitting at my friend's place, Dalian, and as we're chilling, I think I was there for a weekend, right? And so she offers me something to drink, and I accepted. And I said, I'm about to have my first drink. I've never had before. And yeah, we had wine, and I was like, okay, this is all right, and everything like that. And now and then I do consume alcohol. My dad's not going to be happy when he sees this, but here we are. But I don't want the feeling of being drunk, because I like to be in control, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not a drinker. Even publicly, if I do drink, it will be a glass of something and drink water. I'm the worst. People who drink are always like, so you really don't drink, hey? And I'm like, not really. You know, I used to think before when people say someone asks them if they drink and they say not really. And I'll be like, but you either drink or you don't. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a thing for me. But now and then I'll be like, oh, okay, you know, relax yourself a little bit. And then, but I need to be focused the whole time. I can't be out here and, you know, taking and everything like that. It could never be me. So yeah, I started only consuming alcohol after 35. Yeah, personal story is that, you know, I would be afraid of losing control, because you see how people are when they're drunk. I mean, even at work back in the days, you know, we'd have these end-year functions, and the things people would say or do when they're drunk, and you're like, what's up with this thing? Why would people just go crazy about it if they act this way? You know what I'm saying? So I just never want to be in that kind of situation. When I am out of control, I need to be in control all the time, all the time. You know what I'm saying? I don't want the next day someone to say something to me and I cannot remember what happened. It could never be me. All right, then the next one. What attracts me to people, generally, whether male or female, in terms of I feel like, whoa, they're hot or whatever, is their confidence, obviously, but how people walk is a big deal for me. How people walk, like, I watch how people walk for a living. That's what I do. I watch how people walk. I think I'm so into how people walk that I could imitate most people in my life in terms of how they walk, because I am so focused on that. I could never date a guy who walks like, who's got a slouch kind of walk, like they're carrying the world on their shoulders, irrespective of how wonderful they are, how genuine they are, how intelligent they are. If the walk is not confidencing, it's not gonna happen. When a woman walks into a room, I look at how they carry themselves in terms of walk, you know. It's a big deal for me. You know, I look at my nieces and nephews, they'll tell you, I will compliment me like, oh, I love the way you walk, because it's like shoulders up. Have some rhythm to your walk, you know. It's so funny, when I was younger, right, maybe early teens, I used to watch, you know, women that I thought were beautiful in how they carried themselves, and I think from that time I started practicing my walk. And now I have a signature walk that people will say to me, I wasn't sure if it was you, but I saw the walk and I knew it was you. There's become that signature kind of walk. And yeah, I just feel like, you know, like, look confident in how you walk. It's like everything. And it's so funny, because the other day I told you guys about how the videos where I'm walking have high views. Generally, you know what I'm saying, where people are seeing me from the front or the back, there are high views. And I just think, yeah, maybe I am a master in this thing called walking, but I find people who walk with confidence very, very attractive. Very, very attractive. Next on my list is my all-time favorite crush, right? I love Idris Elba. I love Idris Elba. Like, I know it's a cliche that people love Idris Elba, but I am one of those. I find that man so hot. Okay, first of all, he's tall. I don't know why the world has sold us tall guys are a thing. I do like tall men, however, I attract different heights. And if we connect, we connect. But I'm telling you, superficially, I love tall men. And he's dark. I love that as well. I also love his swag. You know, Idris Elba is the kind of guy that you don't say he's good looking, you say he's hot. What is the difference between a good looking and a hot man? Good looking has the features, whether it's the eyes, the shape of his nose, whatever aesthetically the society has labeled as good looking, right? And then you get a hot man. Hot person is someone who has been washed in water. I mean, washed in money. You know what I'm saying? They're well groomed, they're confident. You know, they look like they smell good. They just have this vibe about them. You know what I'm saying? And you know that if they were not cleaned up and if they, you know, they didn't have that swag, you probably wouldn't see how good looking they are. You know what I'm saying? But when they are hot, you just have that vibe, you know, that energy that says, I'm cool. You know, everything just works on them and everything like that. So that's why I love Idris Elba. I just think he's such a hot man, like so hot. My other crush, who is no longer a crush right now, maybe because I don't see him in the media. Growing up, I used to have such a crush locally on Rude Boy Paul. Remember those days, YFM days, if you my age group were a bit younger, when YFM took over, I was one of those people who enjoyed YFM and loved the DJs, your Rude Boy Paul, what's Thomas, what was Thomas's name? Bad Boy T, yeah, but Rude Boy Paul was my guy, and I absolutely liked him so much. I thought he, with the dreadlocks and just that swag and vibe. The other crush that I had was, at some point, was, his name is Vuyo who? What's his real name? I forgot, I'll put it up here, I think. But he was known as, he was called Kumkani on what's this place, on Generations. Yo, that guy is hot. The muscles, also the swag. You see, for me, confidence, that alpha male vibes, that is what I like. Yeah, don't come here with your humility. Your humility must show once we've experienced you, but when you get into a room, I must see that confidence, not arrogance, you know what I mean? There's a fine line, but you know, a man must have that thing that, I'm cool, I'm in charge. Doesn't look like he's the bucket boy of his friends, the one who's, no, he must be the main character. Love main character energy. Anyway, yeah, those were my crushes. So Idris Elba, and locally it used to be Rude Boy Paul, and then yeah, the guy called Kumkan. What's his other name on Generations? That guy. Hot. Right, I think this one will be my last one. Then I might do a part 2 some other time. So my favorite food, like if you want to bribe me, if you want to see me happy, give me Indian food. So in 2010, I think 2010, yeah, I won a mentorship program, right, for work when I was still working on counter for Mac. No, it was 2009, yeah. 2010, I was already at head office. So I was still on counter in Santon. Won a mentorship where there was a whole thing we had to apply for all the Mac people internationally, right? And then what would happen is the winner would spend 2 weeks in India as a mentor, because it was an upcoming market at the time and they needed someone from an emerging market like South Africa to mentor them for 2 weeks. So 1 week I was in Mumbai, and then the second week I was in Hyderabad. During that time, I consumed so much Indian food, obviously, because you know, other countries really serve their own local stuff, and then it's more of a challenge to get your American food and burgers and stuff like that. So I consume a lot of Indian food. I was not really exposed to it before I left, but since then I've been a die-hard Indian food lover. I've even converted some people into being Indian food lovers. I just love, I mean, it was for the first time, I remember the day before coming back home after that 2 weeks, and I had a specheche, you know, the rolls on my stomach for the first time, and I was tiny at that time because I was eating so much. The food was so good. So yeah, that's a food that really tickles my fancy. I love it. I think it is overpriced here in South Africa, but love it nonetheless. So that's it, guys. Let me know which of these random facts about me do you relate to, or you find strange, or you like. But yeah, that's basically it. I think I'll probably do a part 2 at some point. But that is it. I hope you've enjoyed that video. Remember to like, subscribe to this channel, and leave a comment. I would appreciate it so much. Goodbye.